All right, good morning, everyone. Let's look at some stocks. Stocks. All right, so yesterday we ended up closing lower, had a pretty decent red day, elevated volume on the sell side. It was pretty elevated. We came in late yesterday with a little bit of buying. Let's see if we can get back there. So, a couple big buying candles here. Not sure if it matters a tremendous amount. Could just be market makers trying to cover some positions. Darn kids eating under my desk again. What up, TA? Yeah, so we had a pretty red day yesterday. Elevated volume on the Nasdaq. Uh, Definitely distribution day. And although I think it's our first distribution day on the Nasdaq, which is good. So I believe that was our follow through day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 days after the follow through day. So better than 4 or 5. All right. Obviously we're not out of the woods yet. Um, but hopefully we kind of maintain. Now, we did close above the 50-day moving average on the futures, which is healthy. That's always nice. So right now 66.16 is that point. We crossed that little trend line edge yesterday, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, I don't mind the buying up at the end of the day over here, but like I said, could just be market makers trying to cover some positions. Looks like Eli Lilly came back pretty good yesterday, and I think the bulb in my room just went out, so now I'm sitting here in the dark. All right, sounds good. uh, Hold on a sec. Okay, no, for some reason it decided to turn itself off. That was very weird. My room got really dark. I'm like, my computer's on, so my power didn't go out. Um, all right. Let's go check out some IBD stuff, see what they're trying to tell us to do. Let's see here. Future signals rebound 3 Dow Jones leaders rumble. Is rumble good or bad? That's an interesting adjective. 20 new stocks added to IBD watch list. Check them out. Abbott Labs meets Q4 earnings. Views misses on sales. Payout hiked. Comcast stock rises as earnings beat video loss lighter than expected. Soon to split industrial giant crushes earnings view, stock soars. That's always fun. UTX. Okay, so looks like they rallied. 117.50 pre-market, so we're up here. UTX has come down quite a bit. Very, very deep, very quick correction. Looks like about 30%. So looks like they had a pretty nice run up. It just had a quick correction. So starting to come back a little bit on the daily here. Let's see. Doesn't look like a ton of accumulation. Maybe that'll start after earnings. We'll have to wait and see on that one. It's pretty low though. Not my favorite. Let's look at some pre-market movers. Don't have much time left. Hyrecar, whatever that is, Hyre. Looks like it's up 50% to $5 and 31 cents as of whenever they reported last. So they're way up here. Looks like a recent IPO, and 530 puts them right about there. So potentially take it out. Your buy point on this would be 6.5. AmTrust Financial. What? What the heck? That was yesterday from 22 to 15. Wow, down 31%. Okay. All right, AmTrust, whatever happened to you? Voluntarily deregister Delist and deregister all series of preferred and subordinate notes. That doesn't sound healthy. Not at all. All right, so NASDAQ opening higher here, a little bit higher. Let's see what's on the leaderboard. VIPS, Quad U, INS, Square here. Square had a pretty bad day yesterday, just down like almost 5-6%, I think. It was pretty high in terms of its percentage. Still above the 50-day, which is fine. You don't want it to cross back below the 50 after such a nice little expansion. So we can form a nice base here in Square, I don't think with any issues. Goose, INSG. INSG's been definitely pulling in some since that huge run from $4 to $6. Just a huge run. I mean, that's massive. Pulling in here a little bit. Let's see if we maintain this low here at 480. That would prove good. If we can maintain that over the next couple of weeks, if we kind of do some weird stuff down here. Percentage drop is 16% so far. All right. Lots of green on my screen. Very little red. Tesla's the only thing that's red. Oh, undercutting the prior low. That's not so good. A little less support here than I would have anticipated. We did not hold that 300 level yesterday, and we definitely gapping lower than it today is not a good sign. Tesla shares fall pre-market after RBC downgrade. Okay, so it looks like the big banks are taking their turn at beating up on Tesla. They'll buy it at some point. RBC. Okay, this is all RBC. Yeah, so they have earnings coming up on 1/30. A week from today, exactly. So next Wednesday. Just knowing the little games that these guys play, I would almost assume they're just going to keep. Maybe you'll see one or two more bank downgrades before Wednesday next week, as they take it lower, and then they'll buy it up on earnings, something like that. I don't know, just pure speculation, but. Elon Musk comments, then you have some bank downgrades, and then they come out with earnings, and then it pops higher. That would be kind of funny. Hold on a sec. All right. Thermcheck, Twitter down here. What's Twitter doing? Yeah, Twitter undercut that range yesterday. I noticed that. Yep, definitely undercut the range. So that wasn't super good. Volume was elevated. Wasn't very high, but it was elevated. And futures so far just holding that 0.6%. All right, Square up 3%, VIPS up 7%. What's VIPS looks like? Oh, VIPS looking pretty good. You noticed them about a week or two ago. Oh, I missed that. And kind of a nice rally here, and then coming back tremendously today. Very nice, very nice. VIPS looks like it's been in a perpetual downtrend, though. We had kind of a big run there. Doubling of the stock for what reason, I'm not sure. It only looks like about 6 months worth of action total. April to 6 months. Paycom chopping around here this morning, looking pretty good. Look at yesterday, coming back strong. Look at that elevated volume yesterday. This is great for Paycom. This is really, really good. You see a lot of weakness yesterday, not in Paycom. Look at that, rallied to close positive. I don't know how much did that yesterday. I wasn't here at the close. Earnings coming up on 2/5. In terms of a base structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's too wide for a flat base, and it's not long enough for a cup and handle. I don't even think it's long enough for a cup. Unless you consider this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that could be your cup base if you consider this week 1. But that was a little bit higher, so technically this should be week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a little light on the count for cup with handle in terms of length of weeks. But I think this is a resistance point, and we're just crossing it. We're just crossing this resistance point. So it would have been nicer to get it down here if you missed that. But this wouldn't be too bad of a place. Again, earnings coming up, that's always very risky. You have to understand that going in. Don't put in, I'm not sure what, you have to see what the implied volatility is out of Paycom. I'm actually not even sure how to check that, to be honest with you. So if you guys figure out how to do that, let me know. But yeah, right there, some little bullish action. It could get going right here. Could get going right there. All right, Vips and Square still topping our leaderboard here. Square yesterday definitely was not a positive day, but coming back pretty nicely today. Hopefully it maintains these levels. If it cannot undercut the low for the day in Square, that would be really bullish. Just shows a bunch of weird chopping around. All right, so Tilray back up here on the leaderboard. Usually is. It's very, very volatile. So it came back down to a prior breakout point. This could be a place where it reverses higher. Here's your breakdown from that trend line. Support started to come in right there. Now that we're back down here, they may hit this again and take it back up. So this may be a decent place. I mean, come on, this thing rallied freaking 40%. So 10% stop for maybe a 40% gain. You got about a 4-to-1 risk reward right there. Not too bad in Tilray. I'm going to check it out, I think. I'm going to check it out. How fast can that happen? I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I'm not planning on that, but what was that? Back up to, let's go to 100 just for fun. Okay, so you got 300% in for 23 days for Tilray to get back up to 100. That's not that bad. Question you got to ask yourself on Tilray is, after such a rejection, straight up, straight down, will it retest up here? It doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. Could spend some time down here and then go higher and form more of a broad cup base. Could do that. But the options on it are pretty nice in terms of getting back to 100. Even in 51 days. That's pretty good. Not bad. Something I have on my watch list here is Vive. Let's check out Vive. All right, so Vive, we talked about breaking out of this level right here. Looks like it's continuing to work as the Nasdaq sells off a little bit, just a little bit. I have CRM on my watch list. Looks like it's doing okay. Cron, Lilly, Now, which is consolidating just below this level here. And let's create an alert there on Now. All right. So nice high tie consolidation. We talked about this last time. A few distribution days in here. I'm not so happy about that. Lilly's next. What is Lilly doing? Up 0.58%. Looks like retracing all that, not all that bad news, but definitely overtaking the day from the bad news the other day. Remember that? Where he gapped down like freaking 3% for no reason. Well, it wasn't for no reason. They failed a drug trial, but anyway, coming back, volume definitely back to normal yesterday, on with the program, and we'll see if it's on with the program today. I've got a few on here for Paycom, And as we noted, yeah, oh, look at that, man. Paycom just rocking it. Guarantee that that option is no longer valid. Paycom 517. Yeah, cut in half. So, oh well, is what it is. PLNT, Planet Fitness, in a kind of a high tide flag situation. Talk about this breaking out of this base right here. And looks like to do so needs to get above there. Let's go ahead and, excuse me, create an alert. I have Shen up here. Shenandoah Telecommunications. Where's my water? Hold on, let me grab my water. All right, I'm back. All right, let's go back to my watch list, which isn't not really like my main watch. It's just what I have for my over here in Stock Shed. Square, yeah, Square looking really good, holding that 50-day. I like that. I like that. Still some work to do. Team, we saw Team kind of take it on the chin a little bit, coming back, which is nice. I mean, I mean, if you guys want to buy Team, this is a great secondary entry point. Didn't really sell off. I mean, it sold off. Look at that gap up, sold off, but it's coming right back. So maybe take an entry position just to limit your losses in case this goes lower. I would think your stop right now should be the low of this here, right? 86, 80 and change, whatever. I think that would probably be your stop at this stage of the game. About 5-6% lower. So let's go ahead and rerun these team numbers. It was for June. And we're right back at so team is June. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, that's good. That actually works out better. Yeah, that works out good. What's up, Eli? I'm going through your Stock Shed watch list. I haven't looked at this in a little bit. Tilroy's on here. We just put Tilroy on here. TTD, Trade Desk. I don't know if that's what they stand for. Nice little trend line there, consolidating for a couple of days here. Popped the other day. And then Vive, that's all I've got on there. Tilroy is good. Tilroy is, so I already talked a little bit about Tilroy. My thought is generally here, you know, the MJ sector is pretty good. This thing definitely still has some selling pressure, don't get me wrong. But we have a nice little flat level here of about 67.20, and then this ultimate peak down here at whatever it is, 62.5, 64. And this is also where we broke out from, right about here. Right about here. So if these buyers are still involved, see, I'm not sure if these are buyers or these are people covering shorts. That's the problem here. Could just be buyers covering shorts, or short buyers covering, whichever way you want to put that, the right way. So, but yeah, so this could, if we get a retracement back up to here pretty quick, I was looking at, this could be one of those pullback entries to the breakout point, and then your stop would be down here. So that could be a potential trade if someone's interested in that. I probably won't take that trade. I'm trying to stick to my guns and my strategy. So, but stocks and crypto every day, so I'm exposed to many different types of trading strategies. Yeah, so it could be a place here to take a position in Tilray. Hopefully for the next move higher. Could just be that we flounder about, kind of chop around here. Maybe we don't get back up towards 100. Thinking of a Tesla buy. My thinking on Tesla, and I mentioned this earlier, so they had the downgrade to this morning, which is causing this FUD. Earnings are coming out on Wednesday, 1 week from today, and I'm curious if you see a bunch of downgrades just to beat Tesla down so they can accumulate it. So, yeah, maybe make a buy today, maybe make a buy tomorrow, and then maybe they rocket it back up on earnings. Nice little trick play there by the institutions. Let's just downgrade the crap out of Tesla, and then we'll buy it when everyone sells it on earnings. Where's my boy? Hold on. Earnings going to be low. Well, yeah, when Elon sounds a little dejected, he probably is a little dejected. Oh, INSG popping up on my top screen here, 2.15% higher. Doesn't look like much today. And it looks like the NASDAQ going back up again as well. Well, yeah, Eli, it's just another reason for them to buy it on earnings, right? When everyone's scared, they're going to start selling their Tesla, and the institutions are going to pick it up. Oh, now James gets up. Hi, James. You just missed Mommy. Did you see her? Okay. All right, come here. Say hi to Eli. He waved to you. Playing with rockets now? Hey, thanks, Eli. James, Eli says hi. He says hi again. All right, so we got a lot of my green names up here. Square up 4%, INSG, VMW 2% today. Oh, there we go. Crossed that trend line a couple days ago. And just kind of meandering higher. Nothing crazy, but that's good. That's good. And VMW may just rocket this year. Maybe one of those stocks that just rockets. We'll look back going, man, this thing's up 80% this year. Why didn't I just buy it? That's what we're going to say with this type of a pattern after this type of a base after, I wish the breakout was a little better. I wish the breakout, maybe that's the flaw in VMW, is the breakout volume isn't tremendous. All right, what else we got? Paycom. Yeah, we talked about Paycom already. Paycom breaking these prior highs right there. Yeah, I got Paycom back in the stock shed. And, oh yeah, it already reduced everything already. Unfortunately, it's too far gone. is Paycom. So I'm just taking out Paycom. Oh. You gonna eat some fishies? All right, fine. There you go. Let's check out Facebook. So Facebook. So pulling in a little bit yesterday, pulling in a little bit today. Kind of a doji day the day before. So going to get a little pause here. So we're above the 50-day. We need to see how we respect the 50-day. Coming back and testing the 50-day would be good, and holding would be good. We also have earnings coming up on the 30th. So you can look for that. At this stage of the game, we could chop around the 50-day, but as long as we come back up through it at some point, 50 wouldn't be a stopping point. The 50 line is basically a sentiment indicator for institutions, is basically what it is. If they support it at the 50-day, that's good. If you don't see support at the 50-day, that's not so good. VIPS is still up here, rocketing 9.6%. Yeah, VIPS has been leading on my board all day today. Lots of nice little buys right there. There's your little shelf we talked about a while ago. And then haven't really thought about it much because it's just been super choppy. But maybe we'll get another one of these crazy reactions out of VIPS. I'm not sure. It's behaving very nicely on the daily chart. That appears to be quite a bit of distribution right there on that topping, on that candle. But we're overcoming that. In fact, we already have overcome that. So VIP's looking pretty good. A little elevated, yeah, about 14% elevated from this trend line break. Probably too deep to get in. When these lines break, guys, you got to jump on them if you want it. You just have to do that. There's EDU, VIPS and EDU, both China names. Looks like you're seeing China come back with a vengeance. Here, James, let me help you with that. There you go, dude. What other China names are up here? What are some China names we can look at? There's FTNT, not China, but they're coming back strong. Oh, look at yesterday. Yesterday it closed towards the high. That was really good. And then today, with following through to the upside, almost taking out the previous day's entire range within these 2 days. So that's good. Phone ISG, Etsy, Amarin. Oh, there's Roku. I haven't talked about Roku in a few days. Man, look at that Roku looking really nice, really tight. This is nice, man. This is super nice. Look how structured that is. That's beautiful. So your buy point here would be over the trend line, as we've seen a lot of these little trend lines can tend to continue. Also above that high where my mouse is about 44.67. Roku could be a nice little buy. That's a nice little structure. I'd like a little bit more green, but beggars can't be choosers. See if we get any peak closes or to the upside or the downside. We have a peak close to the downside, peak close to the upside, peak close to the downside. So we're 2 for the bears, 1 for the bulls. So that's why you got to wait for these to break out. That's the other point to this. You have to wait for the breakout. Okay. So there's your weekly on Roku. A beautiful downtrend, gap up, a little pause. I mean, I really wouldn't be super surprised if this thing just had a really good year. Now, again, you need to make sure the fundamentals are there for this. Just one little chart pattern shouldn't get you interested. And I'm not sure that's going to go all the way up to all-time highs there. Let's go take a look at Roku. A 36 composite rating. I think we looked at this and it wasn't very good. 81% EPS change last quarter. Estimate revisions were down, which is why it's still down here and not up here, probably. 0 years of annual EPS growth. Is this a recent issue? Roku's been out for a minute. No, I guess not. I guess 2017. So it's still pretty new. There's its full life. So we undercut here Came back down. 39% sales percent change last quarter. That's healthy. Pre-tax margin negative 12%, so they're not even quite profitable yet. 4.4 billion, 0% change in funds owning stock, 0 quarters of increasing fund ownership. So that's not super good. Roku stock labeled top pick, control for stock called buy. What is this? Is just after Christmas, about a month ago. She has a price target of 45 for Netflix, or for Roku stock, excuse me. And someone else had a control for buy. Interesting. Well, Roku's fundamentals are definitely not top notch. That is a negative for Roku. So keep that in mind as you plan your positions. All right, but yeah, Roku, technically I don't mind it whatsoever. It looks like it's above the 50-day, consolidating above there, chilling above the 10-day. We're chopping around it a little bit, but being supported so far. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Roku going forward here. But I like the chart. The chart looks pretty nice. Just need to see some follow through. All right, Square up 3.4. VIP's up 10% now. Square behaving very, very nicely. DataSend. Twilio. Everyone talked about Twilio for a while. Has earnings coming up. Looks like in February 12th. Happy Valentine's Day. Right now it's kind of chopping around this breakout point. No major. Yeah, that volume is not on the breakout day. And I don't know where the breakout day is on this thing. It's so choppy. So that doesn't lead to a lot of confidence. Choppy on the breakout. FTNT, INSG. What was that? Okay, I mentioned tech. Let's take a look at Apple, Amazon. We haven't looked at Apple in a little bit. Apple, a few big volume days, big gap down right there at the beginning of the year. I think that was Tim Cook's letter out about earnings. And then we have earnings coming up on 129. So, okay, next Tuesday. And rising in relatively lower volume. We'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works out. There's Apple, Amazon. Holding higher also has earnings coming up. We are in earnings season. Looks like the end of the month, so that should be a Thursday, next Thursday. Mixed picture here. You're above the 50-day moving average, but now we're going to start chopping these moving averages around, which is good for turnarounds. That's good for turnarounds, but this would put us early in the turnaround and not overtaking any prior highs yet. So Amazon's just hanging out here. Microsoft. Look at that beautiful run, 2016 to 2018. Doubling in Microsoft. Very nice, very nice. And from now, $22%. Why do my trend lines disappear? Memory 52%. I doubled my RAM, so it's interesting to see that over 50%. Doubled my RAM. Nice. I was hoping stuff like this would improve. Yeah, 20% to the downside. Too deep for a flat base, so it would have to be a cup of some kind. You actually could consider this a double bottom, possibly. This being one bottom, this being the second bottom. So this would be your entry point, right about there. 113. What's the high there? 113.52 would be your technical entry point. in Microsoft if you're interested in that. But rising and lower volume. Want to see some acceleration at some point. Earnings are in a week. Where did I end up on AES yesterday? Did I do AES yesterday? What do you mean, where did I end up? I don't remember where I started. So AES has a little trend line right here, trying to break through it. Looks like a bit of a double. Looks like a double bottom base actually, and your buy point would be here, about 16. 1612 would be your buy point. I'm not sure where I ended up on. I'm not sure what you mean by where did I end up. Did we look at this one yesterday? That's a blank for me, my friend. Well, let's look at it fundamentally. I'll do that. Oh, it was on one of those lists yesterday. Okay. I'm not sure where I ended up on it. I didn't do any research yesterday. As a matter of fact, JavaScript was kicking my butt all day yesterday, and I don't mind AES. Let's look at it fundamentally. Let me check it out. So its composite rating of all the rankings combined is 87, which is not bad. And relative strength to the S&P 500 is 95, so it's outperforming 95% of the stocks there. That's not bad. Let me go to the other screen, which gives me more information. Uh, 52% earnings change last quarter. So let me show you. I'll show you here. Why not? So green market industry group rank of 14, which is good. 1 to 197. 1 is the best. All these green dots here mean good. Red dots here mean bad. Most important one, though, are these, in my opinion, are these ones. These are the most important. We don't have to have estimates revised higher, but it's always icing on the cake. Sales marketing, sales change last quarter, and 3-year sales growth rate. These are my most important here. Both of these aren't very good. Pre-tax margin, 13.9 is pretty low. You can see it got a red there. ROE, 38, which is pretty good. And these are some of the more important ones, in my opinion. Change in funds owning stock, 0. But there has been a couple of funds that have added them in the past 4 quarters, it does look like here. Utility. Oh, AES was the utility that did solar. They have a bunch of... They're a dividend. That's right. They're the dividend play. Yeah, they're a leading dividend. That's what comes into play here. Okay. So, yeah, that's the list that this was on. So there's your double bottom base. There's your buy point just over 16. There's your W, if you will, with the right side undercutting the left side. Okay, that makes more sense. So setting up in a first stage base, we covered bases in the Crypto Power Hour yesterday. I'm not going to have time today to go over bases with y'all. Well, they have a hydroelectric project in Chile. A couple of top-performing growth funds owned AES. That's interesting. Fidelity Balanced and Fidelity Contra Fund. If you guys want to buy a mutual fund, just really easy that you're able to buy, look in your 401ks for the Fidelity Contra Fund. That is by far one of the best mutual funds you have access to in quite a few 401ks. I had access in my last job. Rachel, I think, had access in her job. So she's got half her stuff in the Contra Fund, half in an index fund. Contra Fund's pretty good. The expense ratio is pretty low as well. All right, but yeah, AES not bad. AES not bad. Bullish pattern. Yeah, the fact that it's in a couple of growth things is good as well, and pays a dividend. I guess you're never mad at getting 13 cents every couple of months. So, market's doing pretty good here today after kind of a romp through yesterday. Nothing was really broken yesterday, I will say. We held that 50-day on the NASDAQ, and SQ did pretty good. INSG held okay. Hey, you're welcome, Michael. But yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here pretty soon. You guys want me to check anything else out? Other than that, I think I'm going to bounce. We got pretty good day today. Hopefully we'll be able to maintain an inside day to this bar. Hopefully we don't edge lower. Lily popped up 1%. Look at that. Lily trying to make highs happen. Look at Lily, guys. That's really nice. This thing's been stuck in a range. So this is what I did a little yesterday in the crypto power. I talked about first stage base. So I'll give you a little bit about base count because this is here. So this was a first stage base in Eli Lilly. I won't really go into why, but there was really no other bases prior to it. You know, there's no bases in here. So you have a run up and then you pause. This is your first stage base. Goes up 20%. That's your minimum viable product for a run up before you can have another base. So then Eli Lilly formed a rare base on base pattern. This qualifies as a flat base. It was 8.5% deep, greater than 5 weeks in length. And so this is a flat base formed, went on to poke its head higher and form another flat base, and then rallied 20% almost exactly before it paused. Now this line here is the low of your second base. And when you undercut the low in a base, it resets the base count. And so now Eli Lilly, after all of this consolidation, long story short, we're back in a first stage base on Eli Lilly. So buying out of this base, if you guys wanted to do that at 120, you see the high is 119.84, so 119.94 would be your technical buy point on Eli Lilly. This is a first stage base for Eli Lilly, and you're safe to buy the first and second stage bases. After the second stage base, you can see as in Lilly here, which is why this was a great example yesterday, but more important for stocks and crypto. After the second stage base, once you get your run, it is always more difficult for runs to continue unless you're in a major leader like Apple or Amazon or a very high growth, something with really exceptional numbers and looks good technically. So Eli Lilly, kind of a poster child here, had a first stage base, you could buy that. Second stage base, you can buy that. And then you ended up in a large consolidation and then another run. Notice this one kind of languished for a couple of years here after the second stage base. Fairly normalized to see a deeper pullback or a more extended basing after the second base. But, Apple famously had 3, 4, and 5th stage bases. So they do happen. There's more risk associated with those later stage bases. So when you hear IBD say late stage base, it means 3rd, 4th, or 5th stage base. Haven't seen too many 6th stage bases. All right, guys. Well, on that, I'm going to get out of here. On that, I'm going to get out of here, guys. And about the Tesla dip. All right there. That's cool. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, we could pull back right before earnings. And what I mean by pull back is go back up. So that could be a good little print there on Tesla. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you later. Have a good day. Tomorrow, right? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.